Look at this story. Laura was a child who had recently lost her parents. Because this happened and the little girl didn't want to go to an orphanage, she ended up living on the streets, but she didn't always get food to feed herself, she lived on donations from people. But she didn't always find good people on the street, because people discriminated against her because she lived on the street but didn't know her true story. That morning it was such a cold day, so cold that Laura had spent the night there sleeping on the sidewalk with her, and it had been very cold. As soon as it was dawn, Laura got up from there and said her prayer, "Father in heaven, help me that today I can get food to feed myself, because I'm very hungry." After saying her prayer, the little girl goes in search of food, in search of finding people with a good heart who can help her. Seeing that it was very early in the morning and still not finding anyone on the street, Laura looks inside the rubbish to see if she can find any leftover food, but she doesn't find anything. Now she continues walking because she is very hungry. She walks in search of someone who can help her until she passes close to a church. Speak again, she kneels down and says her prayer, "Father from heaven, help me, may today be a day where I can get the food to feed myself and takes care of all the children and especially those who live like me on the streets." Laura gets up from there and continues looking for someone who has a good heart to feed her. Lauren on her way, "I find a square as it is very small. I like the toys I saw in the square." She takes it and goes to her to play. However, a lady who was there saw the girl and judged her by her appearance and her condition. The woman goes to the child and says, "Girl, get out of there, you can't play in this park. This park is for decent people and not beggars like you. Get out of here now." The woman goes to Laura, takes her arm and takes her off the slide. The very sad girl who takes it and you go. And even in the square, she sees a lady eating cookies. She decides to go there and ask for a cookie for the woman. She approaches the woman and says, "Miss, can you give me a cookie? I'm very hungry." Woman with a superior voice says, "Don't you have a father or a mother who can buy you cookies?" Laura, very sad, lowers her head and says that she lives on the street, that she has no father or mother. Laura gets up from there and continues looking for someone who has a good heart to feed her. Lauren on her way, "I find a square as it is very small. I like the toys I saw in the square." She takes it and goes to her to play. However, a lady who was there saw the girl and judged her by her appearance and her condition. The woman goes to the child and says, "Girl, get out of there, you can't play in this park. This park is for decent people and not beggars like you. Get out of here now." The woman goes to Laura, takes her arm and takes her off the slide. The very sad girl who takes it and you go. And even in the square, she sees a lady eating cookies. She decides to go there and ask for a cookie for the woman. She approaches the woman and says, "Miss, can you give me a cookie? I'm very hungry." Woman with a superior voice says, "Don't you have a father or a mother who can buy you cookies?" Laura, very sad, lowers her head and says that she lives on the street, that she has no father or mother. The woman then takes Laura her bag of biscuits and says, "Take this biscuit and get out of here, girl, don't ask me for anything else." Para takes the packet of biscuits and walks away very sad. Laura to sit down a ladder in the park. There once again, she says her prayer and thanks. "Dad, thank you so much for this food." After saying her prayer, she takes and eats the cookie. There in the same square, a couple, Anna and Marcos, are walking and talking. Marcos says to Anna, "Oh my love, I dream of the day we are going to have our baby." Anna says, "I can't wait to make our dream come true. Love, everything in God's time." Marcos says, "It's true, everything in God's time, because I can't have children. Maybe with this treatment things will get better, but I'm anxious when the time comes." Anna says, "But we can adopt a child, love, because a child is a child in every way. be it by heart or by blood. Marcos agrees with her, and they continue their walk through the square. In which city are you watching this story right now? Laura makes her way through the square. But she doesn't imagine the danger that exists there. The man, seeing Laura so small and innocent in defense, sees that she has a bag, imagines that there must be money and valuables there. He goes over to the girl and tries to grab that bag from her. He stays there trying to grab Laura's things, and Laura holds on tight and screams, "No, no." When Anna and Marcos are passing by and see the whole scene, Marcos runs to help the girl. Marcos manages to scare the man away. And he takes her and says to Laura, "How come a child as small as you is alone in this square?" Eliana takes Laura to a bench to sit down and talk. Marcos asks Laura, "What is your name and where are your parents?" Laura says, "My name is Laura and I don't have peace, I live on the street." Marcos looks at Anna and says, "Our love, so small and living on the street, are we going to try to help her in some way?" Anna says, "I'm horrified by this situation. There are so many people in the world wanting to have children and those who don't know how to appreciate it." Anna says, "Let's help her, give her some money so that she can feed herself now, love." Marcos then takes an amount of money and gives it to Laura and says, "Look, I'll give you this money for you to feed yourself, but be very careful not to show this money to anyone because this is a very dangerous place, even more so for a child." Anna says, "We will try to help you in every possible way so that you get off the street." After Marcos gives Laura the money and advises her to take care of herself, he and Anna leave. The next day, Anna and Marcos are sitting there in their house talking when Anna says, "I was thinking about that child yesterday that we met in the square. How could such a small child live on the street and how her parents had the courage to let her live on the street? Well, we also don't know what really happened because we talked very little with her, right?" Marco says, "I also kept thinking about her being so young and suffering so much on the streets." Anna says, "Love, can we not adopt her since we really want to have a child? This is how we make our dream come true and help them get out of that life." Marco says, "It's a good idea, but you know we have a big fight if we want to do this." Anna says, "Love, in terms of expenses, I'll help you. I'll go to work and then we can raise her in a good condition. So let's go look for her and see if we can find her." Anna and Marcos go in search of little Laura. However, they have already searched the entire square and still haven't found Laura, with no hope of finding the girl when Anna was almost giving up on seeing her as a child sitting on a bench at the end of the square. They run there, they sit down next to Laura and in greeting, Anna says to little Laura, "Remember that yesterday we said that it's helping you because we were going to let you go through all this. Today we came here to see if you want to move in with us. Our dream is to have a son or a daughter, and when you appeared we saw in you this opportunity to be our daughter. If you want to go with us, you will be our daughter, you will have your room and your little things, and you will not live on the street anymore. Do you agree to move in with us?" Anna says, "We came back here because we really want you to get out of this situation. We hope that you accept our proposal, because that way you will make our dreams of being a father come true and we can help you. That way you'll be able to go to school and meet new children and you'll have a home to live in and you won't have to live on the streets in danger anymore. What do you say, Laura? Do you agree to move in with us?" Laura is very happy, she says, "Yes, I do." They then take the little girl to live with them and shoot her from the streets. Everyone is very happy because Anna and Marcos have fulfilled their dreams of being peace and little Laura has gained